Hi everyone, and here we are approaching the end of week 5, and today the focus is going to be on our Year 5 camp, and Heidi and Mark are going to give you some of the highlights of that camp, and also a big shout out and thanks to our staff for all of the camping adventures that we have here at Covenant and for their willingness to be part of that program. I know you as parents really value that, and our kids just have an absolute blast. But one other thing I'd also like to draw your attention to in our newsletter is just a bit of a safety matter. We've had a lot of rain over the last little while, and that Dell Street turning circle can sometimes get a little congested. Could you please have a read, if you use that section, could you please have a read further in the newsletter about just the instructions of what to do for the kiss and drop section too. We'd really appreciate that. But let me now hand over to Heidi and Mark, and let's all hear about how that Year 5 camp is going.
Hi everyone, we have the great privilege today to chat about Year 5 and 6 camp. I'd like to introduce you to Mr. Etoff if you haven't met him, Mark Etoff, and he is our Stage 3 coordinator. So why do we do camp in Year 5?
We find that doing camps in Year 5 is a great time for the kids to build relationships with each other, particularly new kids. They can get to know other kids, particularly not in their own classes. They can get to know the teachers as well, and the teachers get to know other teachers and get to build better relationships there. So it's really good for our relationship building, builds community amongst all our kids as well. It's fantastic. It's also a different environment for us, for the kids to be relating to each other. Some kids really shine in the classrooms and some kids really shine on camp as well. So it's really good for that.
That's true. So what are some of the activities that you do on camp?
So this year, activities for, I'm going to focus on Year 5, archery, water slide, catapults, bush survival, climbing, sandbar fun. We've had canoeing, we've had low ropes, we've had abseiling, we've had rope climbing, we've had biking. So activities change from year to year, but that's what we got this year.
Sounds pretty fun. I'm interested in catapulting. Can you expand that?
Yeah, it's like a team building activity.
Okay.
We're not catapulting children.
Right, okay, good.
Team building activity where they build that and then they have to try and launch objects onto a target. It's great fun.
Oh, excellent. So what sites do we choose to go to for these camps and why do we choose those?
Yeah, so we've got 2 different sites. The Year 5 one that's going first, that'll go down at Royal National Park at the Youthworks site down there. Staying at the Deer Park site Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. In a couple of weeks' time, there's another Youthworks website we use, sorry, not website, but campsite called Blue Gum up in the mountains, and that's fantastic as well. So you have like a coastal experience with Year 5, more of a bush experience with Year 6.
Excellent. So how do the kids feel about camp before and then after?
There's so many emotions before. There's a lot of nerves down there. Some of them are excited, some of them are just totally pumped. They've been on camps before. Others are really nervous. They're thinking, I've never been on a camp before, never spent a night away from home. So they're quite nervous. But afterwards, apart from feeling really tired, they love it. There's so many positive memories that they create.
And so the teachers do go on camp.
Yes.
They don't run the camp.
No.
But they certainly have the opportunities to support the kids on camp. So can you tell us about how those relationships, those working relationships between teachers and kids develop?
Yes, so each teacher will go to an activity group with a bunch of kids and they'll get to experience those kids in a different way. I mean, how many teachers have been on water slide with kids before? Not really. So yeah, it's a different dimension to their relationship there. So that's a really good way for them to get to know each other. It's just really nice for them to create positive memories with the kids, and they can share stories as well about what happened. Yeah, it's really nice.
Yeah, I think it's good. Wouldn't it be better just to stay on site and do that? Stay at school and just devote 3 days to doing classroom stuff?
It would be easier for the teachers just to stay here at school and just be in the classroom for 3 days, but no. I don't think there's many kids who would much rather stay at school for 3 days. It's so much more fun being outside, great environments, great campsites, great leaders. It's a really positive place to be.
Yeah.
So, no, by all means, we should go on camp.
Yeah, so currently we're between camps. We've had Year 5 and we're about to have Year 6. So what is worth praying for? Like, what can we as a community pray for the camp that's happened and the camp that's coming?
Hopefully, Year 5 camp had some great weather. Last year we had 3 days of rain, so positive weather would be really helpful so the kids can really enjoy their activities. That would be really good. That kids would get to know other kids. Sometimes it can be easier to stay with your own friends, but we really want to encourage the kids to be building relationships with more of their peers. That would be really good. Pray for obviously safety as well. There's a few activities there that it's quite different environment for the kids, so safety is another big one as well.
Yeah.
And I think just for all-round positive community building.
Absolutely. And having been on a camp before, I know that there's some really young, enthusiastic youth workers.
Yep.
And they often share their testimony through activities and so on. Why do you think that works?
I think the kids need to hear it from someone else. They might hear the message of how much God loves them from their parents. They hear it from their teachers here at school, but to hear it from another spot is a really helpful thing. And I think there's some wonderful Christian role models on camps that can share what God has done for them in a different way. I think it's great for the kids to hear it from different places.
Well, thanks so much. Thanks for leading the team. Thanks for staying up at night and saying shh, shh. And we really appreciate all the effort because it's above and beyond, but it's such a wonderful, amazing time for the kids. So thanks.
It is. Thank you.
Have fun.